Welcome to Rice-multiverse, where every story has a hidden layer, every detail holds a secret, and every theory opens a new door. From mind-blowing connections to the mysteries lurking in plain sight, we dive deep into the fan theories that make your favorite worlds even richer. So buckle up, because in this multiverse, anything is possible. Ned Ryerson is the devil, the hidden truth behind the time loop in Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is a beloved classic, often analyzed for its themes of self-improvement and redemption. But what if the true source of Phil Connor's suffering isn't just time itself, but a devilish figure who condemns him to eternal torment? This theory proposes that Ned Ryerson, the obnoxious insurance salesman, is not merely an annoying part of Phil's life, but the literal devil who traps Phil in the time loop as punishment, and that the only way to escape is by purchasing life insurance. The first step into damnation. When Phil first encounters Ned, he quickly insults him, mocking his enthusiasm for selling insurance. In that moment, something happens that sets the stage for Phil's torment. Just after the insult, Phil steps into a puddle, and Ned, in a tone that's almost too gleeful, says, "Well, haha, watch out for that first step, it's a doozy." This remark isn't just a quirky throwaway line, it's the first clue that Ned is aware of something that Phil isn't. The first step is literal, and it marks the moment when Phil begins his eternal punishment. Ned's cruel enjoyment of the situation as Phil suffers the first step after being trapped in the time loop suggests that he is more than just a salesperson, he's the architect of Phil's personal hell. The purchase that frees Phil. One of the most pivotal moments in the film comes on the last day of the loop, when Phil finally agrees to purchase insurance from Ned. At first, this might seem like an unimportant detail, just another step in Phil's journey to becoming a better person. But according to this theory, this is the moment when Phil is truly freed from the time loop, not when he wins Rita's heart or makes amends with the people around him. By purchasing the insurance, Phil effectively sells his soul to Ned, something that could be seen as a form of absolution or repentance. This act of purchasing insurance, a symbol of accepting mortality and preparing for the inevitable, mirrors the idea of redemption through sacrifice. In a modern sense, buying life insurance is one of the closest things we have to selling our lives, giving away a part of ourselves to secure our future. In this context, it's Phil's acknowledgement of his sins and imperfections, and by doing so, he is released from the never-ending cycle. Religious and devilish imagery. Further supporting the theory that Ned is a devilish figure are the visual clues that permeate the film, especially when Phil is first trapped in the loop. Immediately after Ned's cryptic remark about the first step, the framing of the scene prominently features a red coffee cup with steam rising from it. The red and steam evoke imagery of fiery torment, a visual cue that links the scene to hellish punishment. Later, when Phil is finally freed from the time loop, the camera framing becomes even more overtly religious. As Phil stands in the light, his head is illuminated in a way that evokes a halo reminiscent of Christ. Above him, the groundhog symbols of the day that resets form a pattern that resembles a holy cross, reinforcing the idea that Phil's journey is not just about love or personal growth, but about spiritual redemption and release from damnation. The parallels to selling one's soul. Finally, consider the concept of life insurance itself. In the modern world, purchasing a substantial life insurance policy can be seen as a way of metaphorically selling your soul. It's a way of guaranteeing that after death, one's legacy is preserved and managed by another. In Phil's case, refusing Ned's offer is symbolic of rejecting the terms of his damnation. By finally agreeing to buy insurance, Phil acknowledges his fate and accepts the terms set by Ned, thus breaking free from the time loop. Conclusion: a journey of redemption. In this theory, Phil's journey in Groundhog Day is not one of simple self-improvement or romantic pursuit. Rather, it's a journey of damnation and salvation. Phil is condemned to the time loop by Ned, who is revealed as the devil or a devil-like figure after he insults him and rejects his offer. Phil's ultimate redemption comes not through his moral transformation or love for Rita, but through the act of purchasing insurance, symbolizing the acceptance of his fate and the release of his soul. In a world where Phil is forced to relive the same day over and over, it's not about winning Rita's heart or becoming a better person. It's about understanding the weight of his actions, repenting for his sins, and ultimately making peace with his mortality. Only then, through this symbolic transaction, is he released from the endless cycle and granted the chance to truly move forward.